Alright, in this video we're going to focus on creating a multi-app kiosk using Android Enterprise in the Managed Play Store. In our previous videos we've learned how to create our Knox account and how to get logged into the Knox portal where we can launch the different Knox Cloud services. We've created users, we've created groups, and now we're ready to create our multi-app kiosk and enroll the device. So let's get started and log into the Knox Manage portal. You can do that by clicking the link in the description, or you can always go to samsungknox.com, sign in there, and then clicking Knox Manage Launch Console under Knox Manage, and that'll take you to the Knox Manage portal. Go ahead and log in with your admin credentials, and you'll get brought to the dashboard. So to get started, on the left-hand side, we're going to go under Applications, and we're going to hit Public Applications because we're wanting to leverage the Managed Play Store so we don't have to worry about extracting APKs and maintaining newer versions. We're going to let the power of the Managed Play Store shine and use that to our advantage. So what we want to do is we're going to have a few apps that we're going to pick from the Play Store and build out our kiosk and get that device enrolled. So to do that, we'll hit the plus sign, we'll hit Add Public Application, and we're going to search here. I'm going to do some drone apps and some drone weather apps so that this could be a device dedicated to a drone pilot and what they might be doing on their day-to-day basis. So I'm going to select this DJI Go 4 app. I'm going to hit Approve. This is telling me the different permissions that this app requires, and you can go through here and read this, and you'll have to approve them if you want the app. Then it's going to ask you, what do you want to do when the permissions change? Do you want to keep the app approved, or do you want to revoke the app? And then you have to come in and manually approve it if permissions change. In my case, I'm just going to say keep it approved, and I'll hit save. Then in this screen we can see we can change the name of the app, we can specify a category, we can give it descriptions, or we can set the term for when we want this app to be usable. Say you only wanted this to be used for, say, a month or 3 months, whatever the case might be, you could specify that. If it's something that you want available all the time, then you would select no end date, as we have here, and then once you're ready to go, we'll hit save. All right, and we're going to repeat this process for a few applications that I'm going to add here. Feel free to add whatever applications you want, or you can follow along with me. Okay, this one is a paid app, so we're going to skip that one. And we're going to select this UAV weather forecast. We're going to hit approve. Approve our permissions here. We're going to keep the app approved if permissions change. We don't necessarily want to set end dates, so we're going to keep the common, and we're going to hit save and assign. On the previous one, I accidentally just hit save, but we actually want to assign this. Actually, you know what? Let's cancel this. Let's just save it. Once we create our profile, I'll show you how to manually add those going forward. If we did have a profile already created, then we could add those apps, but we don't have it yet, so we'll work backwards here. Add public application. We'll go with another one, before you fly. We'll click approve. Approve again. We'll keep the permissions, keep the app approved when permissions changed. We'll hit save. All right, I'll hit plus sign again. We'll select hover or search for hover, and then we're gonna pick the app, approve. And as you can see, this is pretty easy and very straightforward versus having to go and extract APKs and then worry about what happens when a new version comes out. You have to go extract that APK, upload it, making sure you've got the right APK for the right device, the right screen resolution, and it just becomes a mess. This is really where the power of managed Play Store shines, because all we're doing is selecting the app from a Play Store, and it's going to worry about updates and what device resolutions need to be required for what app, all of that good stuff. So, all right, so save. Okay, so we've got a couple of apps here that we can use to build our kiosk. So now what we want to do is go to Profiles, and we're going to hit Application Management Profile. The Application Management Profile is a set of instructions that's going to tell the device what applications are going to get installed on this device and how they get installed, meaning are they going to be automatically installed or are they going to be manually installed. If they're manual, the user does not have to install them. They are simply recommendations. If they're automatic, the user has no choice, and the applications get installed automatically, as the name suggests. So we're going to hit the plus sign. We're going to do new registration. We're going to do multi-app. I'm going to do multi-app kiosk and hit next. It's telling you that the name can't be changed. Are you sure you want to continue with this name? I'm going to say yes. All right, first thing we want to do is assign this profile to our group. So we're going to hit the plus sign here, or the modify sign, and we see a group that we've created. If you don't have any groups, I would suggest clicking the links in the description for the video where we walk through creating users and groups. Go watch that video, create a couple of users and groups, and then once you're caught up, you can jump back in here and follow along with us. So I'm going to select this multi-app group, hit update. We see the group's been added. We have one member inside of that group, and we're going to hit save. It's asking me if I want to deploy these changes. I don't have any devices enrolled yet, so I'm going to hit no. All right, next thing we want to do is actually select the applications from our catalog. So previously we added them to our catalog. Now we're going to say for these groups of devices, we're going to install these specific applications. So we're going to hit Android Enterprise here on the left hand side, hit the plus sign, and you'll see here these are all the apps that we added earlier. So I'm going to go here one by one, select it. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to say automatic because I don't want any user interaction. So this is going to happen. We'll hit save. There's our application. We're going to hit the plus sign one by one here. All of our apps are going to be installed automatically. So if we would have had the profile created previously, we could have done this as we were adding the apps from the Play Store. When we hit save and assign, it would have asked us to assign it to this profile, but we didn't have it created, so we're having to work a little bit backwards here, but same result, just different ways of accomplishing it. All right, and finally we're going to add this last app. We're going to say automatic. We're going to save. All right, and we'll hit apply. And again, it's asking me if I want to deploy this changes to the devices. I don't have any devices enrolled, so I'm going to say no. All right, so we're ready to go. Next step is going to be take a device that's been factory reset or a brand new device that's ready to be configured, and we're going to go through that process of activating the device using the users that we created, and we'll see how the device gets created with the applications that we've specified. Okay, so now we've got our application management profile created. Next step is creating our device management profile, and the device management profile is going to be the set of instructions that tells the device how it's going to be configured. In our case, a multi-app kiosk, and it's going to tell it which kiosk application to use which we're going to build out and design our kiosk. So let's go ahead and hit Device Management Profile. We're going to hit the plus sign, do New Registration. We're going to call it Multi-App, and then description, we'll do Multi-App Kiosk. We'll hit Next. Again, it's telling us the name can't be changed. Are we sure? We'll say yes. Same idea here, profile assignment. We'll hit the group modify button. We'll select our group and hit update. We're going to hit save. Ask me if I want to push these changes. I'm going to say no. We see our group, we see our users. Then we want to go to Android Enterprise here. We're going to go to the policies and we're going to edit. So these are all the different policies that we have with Android Enterprise. Feel free to look around here and see what you want, what you'd like to set. For this case, we're going to do Kiosk, and we're going to go under Kiosk App Settings. We're going to select Multi-App. So this is asking us to select which application. We don't have a Kiosk application created just yet, so we're going to hit Add, and this is going to launch the Kiosk Wizard. From this Kiosk Wizard, this is interactive, and you can change and configure this however you want. First thing you need to do is give it a name. So I'm going to call this Drone Kiosk. You can set your grids here. So you see here we've got a 5x4 configuration. For our case, we have 5 apps, so that'll be perfect. You can change icon size, you can change background colors. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do in here. You can play with. The device setting is very interesting. Since you're in a kiosk, you don't have access to settings. So if we click here, then we can select which options we want to allow the user to control. So in our case, I'd like to allow them to use Wi-Fi. I think Bluetooth is okay. And then we'll do the display. So we can let them change brightness and things like that. So we'll say save. We'll say okay. And when this device gets enrolled, the user is going to see down here in the bottom right left-hand corner, there's going to be a circle with an eye inside of it. When they click on that, they're going to see settings. And when they hit settings, then they'll have access to those 2 or 3 settings that we allowed them to use. So you can create as many screens as you want. In our case, we're just going to have one screen. You can set wallpapers individually for each screen, or the same wallpaper for all. In my case, I am going to use a wallpaper, so I'm going to hit the add button. And that's going to bring me here. I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to go to my downloads. I'm going to select this wallpaper, give it a second to upload. And then we can move this around here so that you can see what it's going to look like. So I'm happy with that there. Actually, we'll do like that. We'll hit save, and you'll see in just a second, there's our app, our wallpaper. I'm actually going to change that because it's getting cut off, so I'm going to move it down some more. So we'll go here again, hit add, select our wallpaper. We'll give it just a second, and I'm just going to make this right around there. We'll hit save, we'll see what that looks like. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, so next we want to add our applications. So from the left-hand side here, or the right-hand side, I'm sorry, you're going to see applications. If you click the drop-down, you're going to see public. These are the applications we added from the Managed Play Store. So we'll select all of these apps that we want, and then we can put them in whatever order, whatever location we want. So let's say we want like this, and there we go. You can add folders, you can add text, you can add widgets, whatever you want here, but I'm happy with just having the apps, my wallpaper, and access to settings. So I'll go ahead and hit save. And this is actually going to be, it's building a kiosk application that will get deployed onto the device. And that kiosk application will have these settings applied to it. So it takes just a second to do its thing. Once it's done, you'll see here there's an actual package that has been created, and it's telling it which one to use. So there's other settings here, task manager. You can allow or disallow. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to disallow this because you are doing a multi-app kiosk, and the whole idea is to allow the users to be able to run different apps. The system bar, we can absolutely restrict if we don't want them to be able to get into settings. Multiple windows, we probably want that. Air command, air view, edge screen, those are device specific. So if you wanted to do something with those, you could. Prohibit hardware keys is interesting. If we hit apply, it expands, and now you see all of the hardware keys, and you can restrict them if you wanted to. In my case, I don't necessarily care, so I'm just going to leave it. They'll all be allowed. So we'll hit save. Here's a preview of what we're doing, our policies, our apps, etc. And we'll hit apply, and it's asking me again if I want to push this to my devices, but I don't have any devices, so I'll say no. Okay, so now we're ready to take a device that's either been factory reset or a brand new device. We're going to go through the out-of-box experience, and we're going to get this device enrolled and end up with our multi-app kiosk. So grab a device and let's activate it. Okay, now that we've got our profiles created and we've got users and groups and the policies and applications applied to those groups, we're ready to enroll our device. We do have to have a device that's been factory reset or turned on for the very first time to get it into device owner mode. So go ahead and factory reset a device, or if you've got a new device, we'll go through this process and get it set up. So we'll hit start. We do have to connect to Wi-Fi unless you're using an LTE device, which at that point you can omit the Wi-Fi. It'll work just the same. So we'll give it a second to connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, so the next step is going to be entering the Google account, but we're not actually going to do that. We're going to type in a code that's going to manually put the device into device owner mode with Android Enterprise. We're going to have a video in the future showing how to set up Knox Mobile Enrollment, where we can automate all of this. Once we have that video, we'll update the description and we'll put a link to it there so you can follow along and get that set up. But for now, we're going to go the manual route, which will accomplish the same thing. Okay, so instead of putting a Google account, we're going to put in a code here, and that code is AFW pound Knox manage. That's going to tell the device we're going to enroll in Knox Manage using Android for work and device owner mode. Okay, here's confirmation of that. Android Enterprise, Samsung Knox Manage. We'll tell it to install the client. So it's going to start downloading that. Now it's telling us this doesn't require any special permissions, but we have to tell it to install it anyways. It's going to finish downloading that client and proceed to install it. Okay, now it's telling us we're going into Android Enterprise. We can tell because of the briefcase, our client is Knox Manage, and we're agreeing to the Android Enterprise terms and conditions. Okay, now we're in the client, and it's going to ask us for username and password. Again, if we were doing this with mobile enrollment, Knox Mobile Enrollment, we would be able to pass credentials and not have to type this in, but we're not at that point just yet. So for now, we're going to put in the username we created earlier. In my case, it's multi-app at Knox demos.us. You'll use whatever username and tenant ID you specified earlier, whatever password, and then we'll hit sign in. We've got terms and conditions to agree, Knox manage. We'll hit next. Okay, now it's enrolling into Knox manage. It's authenticating the user that we put. Okay, and now we see our Knox license has been validated, so the device is actually in the system now. It's applying the device policies that we created earlier, and it'll start to download the apps in just a second. Okay, now it's registering for the managed Google Play account. All of that happens behind the scenes. That's the power of Android Enterprise. We don't have to create accounts on here. So now if you look in the top right-hand corner, top left-hand corner, you'll see arrows. Those are applications that are being downloaded. So there's our kiosk. You see the launcher switching in the background. Now we're just going to rotate the screen here. And I accidentally clicked on something I didn't mean to. But there we go. There's our multi-app kiosk with the wallpaper. We specified all of the apps, the location where we put them. If we click on the eye, we'll go to settings. There's the three things we had allowed. So we'll hit OK and return back to this. So there you go. Android Enterprise multi-app kiosk, Knox manage, complete solution. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it useful. Like I said, we'll have more videos coming soon. We'll update the description of this video with links to those once we're ready. And have fun. Thanks.